Sarah Sanders was recently kicked out of the Red Hen restaurant in Virginia. Just days later she was back on the big stage in front of a room full of reporters when the unexpected happened to Sanders once again. Sarah had no idea this would happen, but there she was in the room and someone in there shouted out at her. This time it was quite a different story, as the reporter who spoke out had some words for her, but didn't kick her out. Of course, the words were positive instead of negative, and this left the White House press secretary feeling a little bit better about her job of dealing with the press. The reporter stated that Sanders was welcome at any Indian restaurant in the United States and that many people would love to have President Trump visit India. This is great news because so many people in Trump's administration might be feeling the negative energy from some of the mainstream media during a time when Trump is battling with them, particularly those who have a liberal-leaning ownership or political tendency. The mainstream media faces an uphill battle as more and more people call them out for creating or sensationalizing numerous stories. One such story would relate to the handcrafted border crisis, in which people think children are being snatched from their parents, but so often forget about Bill Clinton's immigration reforms in 1996 and Barack Obama's mass deportations. The good vibes coming from the Indian reporter were shared by a rather quiet crowd, and Sanders responded. The incident was recorded on video and shared. AOL. Days after White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked to leave a restaurant, a reporter told her that she's welcome to dine at any Indian restaurant in the country. In one of the lighter moments during Monday's press briefing, Raghubar Goyal of the India Globe stated, "If I can make a quick comment, Sarah, you are most welcome at any Indian restaurant across the U.S., including especially in this area." Sanders smiled and just said, "Thank you," before answering his question about the possibility of President Trump visiting India. The exchange occurred about a week after the restaurant controversy. "Last night I was told by the owner of Red Hen in Lexington, VA, to leave because I work for at POTUS, and I politely left." Her actions say far more about her than about me. "I always do my best to treat people, including those I disagree with, respectfully, and will continue to do so," Sanders tweeted on June 23. The Red Hen's owner, Stephanie Wilkinson, has since spoken out about the incident, telling the Washington Post that she decided to ask Sanders to leave based on her being part of an inhumane and unethical administration. And, despite some negative attention from Trump supporters, Wilkinson stands by her decision, telling the Post, "I would have done the same thing again. We just felt there are moments in time when people need to live their convictions. This appeared to be one. It's our job to share when there are good vibes in the political field. Working in politics must be a scary job because no matter how hard you work, there will always be enemies who try to take you down. It doesn't matter if you're the president or someone working for the administration, there will always be someone or a group of people who will be unhappy. It might be nearly impossible for any president of the United States to ever have the entire country happy at the same time." When Sarah Sanders was kicked out of the Red Hen in Virginia, that was a wake-up call that showed how intolerant and unfriendly the liberals have become. They preach tolerance yet won't tolerate anyone who is different than they are. Sarah Sanders accepted a job standing in front of reporters, and she should be able to take her friends and family out to eat. Sanders didn't care that the Red Hen was owned by a liberal, and she was more than willing to spend money there. She was able to put her job aside and enjoy her life outside of politics with her friends and family. It was the liberal Red Hen owner who was in the wrong and should be ashamed of herself. The incident at Red Hen was also a reminder that working in politics at any level means it's extremely hard to keep everyone happy. At least one reporter was happy with Sanders, and they stood up in front of everyone to voice their opinion. Share this story to keep the positive vibes going.